Also, I learned last week that I'm pretty sure I spelled Daniel Swanton's last name wrong. Before yesterday. Really? Before last Sunday. Yeah, I think I've had a test out before his
it's back in 2016. They were doing production day, and they had an OM jersey.
Oh, did they? That may be it. I just see your name right. That's congrats. Right. He and I would go meet at a bar together and watch every show. And so last game of the year in December, right before mine, he tells me, buddy, if it's also Chiefs fans, and we say, hey, Brad says he might be on. So I show up, I see the only other guy wearing Chiefs. So I go up. What? Turned out he had let me go 4 fucking months. What did he do? I have no idea. Like, he just turned out like everything. Like, Brett, and I'm like, what the fuck?
That's what you gotta say right away.
Right. That was kind of, he was like, well, it's just, enough time had passed. I didn't know how to bring it up. Just rip the Band-Aid off.
Chiefs are actually tweeting nothing.
Oh, are they? Oh, Chiefs player. But you meant the Chiefs officially.
No.
Like, this is super.
Be all the way back.
I'll take You know it's gonna be all caps.
Just haven't gotten to Willie Gay yet.
Go take that cool down back.
Cowboys are all down 7. What? We're dead horse. Oh, no, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. So how you going to read somebody else in there?
Gotta follow the same team.
Yeah. That's a 41 on 41 crime. I see where I rank.
Oh, you know that. I just couldn't believe it.
Instigator.
I just can't believe it. That's all.
91 is
Trying to comment on it either way.
I'm going to have to talk to Nick and Matt.
pretty sure it is.
Fuck it, somebody else is reading it now. He curses in press conferences and he doesn't retweet me.
That's how it started.
That's right. That's right.
That's how it started.
You can either.
What? Whoa. Here we go. That's why it's nice. They out here almost Sunday afternoon.
They haven't given up more than 10 points. That's 13. It's given up 27 in the first half. Oh, 1 p.m.
I wanted to.
Ravens pulled it out?
No, they lost.
Oh, okay.
Cowboys are about to blow it.
He's like,
27-20. Washington has the game 37.
Ford, Hilton, I think it is.
Oh, no, because they lost. Oh, yeah.
that takes overtime.
Right.
I'm not coming back to it. Yeah, you know, I grew up out there.
I just either sleep on it or afraid to get it.
Cincinnati game, I got like 6.
You really want my name? I saw my face. My face.
Cincinnati, and that airport,
No.
Last drive.
Oh, the Raiders.
You'll regret it if the Chiefs have the first round.
Yeah, I'm more.
That is true.
I don't mind the drive because it's so low stress. There's hardly anything out there. Once you get past 2 people, you're good.
Out there in western Kansas where there's no free signal on your phone.
I have that problem.
Let's be honest. What?
It says it's the most lopsided win of the rivalry. 42-7 by the Chiefs on November '64 and 41-6. They're both 35. The Chiefs had won by 35 and the Raiders had won by 30.
I'm out.
41-6.
It's a funky Green Baker one underscore. But he was verified. He was verified.
Really tweeting.
I see your point. Can we just get everybody? Somebody, it's gotta be like that. Just get radical. Your comments. Like, can you just go down the line? So fun. You're so true.
Dude.
The amount of expletives.
Go, we're gonna get Matthew. I don't think he has seen the. Shower.
Yeah. You good? See,
Just do your thing, my man.
Yeah. Yeah, John, just tell them, go. It's go time.
Is that a first? That's a first. That might be
Right?
It's a first.
Come back, man.
he's being lectured as we speak.
Written upside down.
Would you?
Yes, there you go.
You're on scholarship too.
Nope, there's something else, guys.
Right.
Appreciate it. Run there.
Would it surprise you to learn what the line is? What approach?
So mad about it.
Might be.
Yeah, well, me too.
999.
That was.
Get this man to the beach. Well, I'm getting this sensation.
I'll leave.
That was as good as I felt all day. All right. Listen, congratulations to the fans, first of all, for doing what they do and doing it so well, man. They're loud and it makes a difference. You know, it makes a difference when teams can't hear themselves think out there. And anyways, that was tremendous. L'Jarius Sneed, just want to address that well up front here. Our hearts go out to him. Great kid, great player, but just his family, they were all visiting at this time, so you know, it's a tough deal. But our organization stepped up and got everybody back to where they needed to be to go through the grieving process, and that locker room's grieving with them. So, with that, 5 turnovers, 28 points off of those turnovers. 21, who's going to come talk to you here in a minute. Had an unbelievable day. Fumble recovery for a TD, 2 forced fumbles. And then the Badger jumps in and he's got a pick and a fumble recovery and so on and so forth. So, and then, you know, anytime you can put together 4 or 5 turnovers in a game, I mean, you're probably going to come out on the right end of the stick there. So, and then offensively, I thought the offense did a nice job of moving the ball, taking time off that second half, which was important, being able to run the ball and be able to still throw it efficiently. Pat had a nice day, along with the offensive line. Receivers caught the ball and did well there. So the defensive line, I thought the pressure that they applied up front was just top notch. Derek could never quite get comfortable back there throwing the ball, and then that makes everybody's job just a little bit easier. Hitch did a great job of helping lead that defense. It's very easy to take a step down from having played that team just 4 weeks ago, 3 games ago. But the guys didn't. They knew the urgency that was needed, and they did a great job with that. The coordinators, I thought, were tremendous. The assistant coaches were good. You saw that the guys that were out of practice saw the energy that we had at practice, and the guys practiced fast. With all that said, we've got a short week here, and I have to get ready for the Chargers. It should be a great atmosphere for a game, but we've got some work to do before we get there. The one positive is we came out of this without injuries, so we you know, unless something pops up, but we should be good there. So time's yours. I'll let.
Coach, I don't know if you all saw it, obviously, I guess the big deal about the Raiders coming out, you know, still on the logos and stuff. Did that kind of inspire the team even more so? And then also, I know you may have just overlooked it, but Josh Gordon got his first touchdown with the team.
Yeah, I should have mentioned Josh. Josh has been doing a great job. For him to get that and another catch on it was great. We don't pay much attention to the other stuff. You know, we know what they do, and we try to play good. I mean, that's what we try to do. So, and play the best of our abilities, and that's about all the time you have to, you know, for that kind of stuff. So you got enough time to focus in on yourself and try to get better every week, and that's what we're trying to do.
Play call for him, was that a play call for him, or did Patrick just when he was in the huddle?
No, that was a play call. Yeah, that was a play call for him.
Do you think the tribute led to the offense being in such sync today? It seemed like a variety of things.
Yeah, things worked. I think everybody was clicking. I mean, they were disappointed after the last game that we weren't as sharp as we needed to be, and you know, there's just that small margin, man. You know, you catch the balls last week, and you might have the same type of thing happening here. So, but we didn't, and so you know, the guys did a nice job with all that this week. You're good.
Just got here a little different way than maybe people would have expected before the season with some of the ups and downs. But at this point, with the momentum you guys have, is this about the sort of complete type of team you felt like you could have, could see?
Yeah, listen, I'm proud of the way the guys are playing. The neat part, Vahe, is we have a chance to even be better, and we got to keep the foot on the pedal here as we go, and knock it. We still have some things we can fix, both sides of the ball and special teams. I should have said special teams did a great job today too. So Dave had a nice plan there.
What did Melvin Ingram meant to this team in his acquisition, both on and off the field?
Yeah, so you need to get a white one of those, but be Santa Claus, man. I mean, I got one if you need one. I've got one. Yeah, so listen, Melvin has brought a great attitude to the room, which is tricky because you come in and if you're a downer, that can pull everybody else down, being a seasoned veteran, Pro Bowl player like he is. But he came in with a positive attitude, a great work ethic. He's very intelligent. He knows the game and has studied the game. So that was welcomed into that room with the talent we have in there. We've got good talent. So he's done very good for us. So. No, you're all right.
And we talked a lot about turnover the first couple of weeks. It seemed like that was the biggest issue. You couldn't hold on to it. Now the margins in your favor. You talked about focusing on fundamentals and that kind of thing. Can you pinpoint anything that kind of?
No, listen, you've just got to concentrate every week here. So we just got to make sure we keep our focus and be smart with the ball, whether we're running the ball or throwing the ball or catching the ball. Just really, you keep your focus on the job at hand, and it doesn't matter if you're up or down. You gotta keep going. And consistency against zone defenses becomes important. Are you gonna? You might not have all the long shots, but you got to be able to put a drive together, and that's a tough thing to do in this league consistently. And so we're working towards that.
How perfect was the start? With Mike Hughes return that touchdown for a fumble, 7.
Yeah, unbelievable way to start a game. I mean, that doesn't happen every week, but he went right after it, and you can see. I mean, it wasn't a fluke. He ripped it out. So I mean, or punched it out. I mean, that was kind of a good deal. Great way to start.
Coach, last week McCall put up on return, then he's back on from return today, and then he answered with his number was called.
Yeah, McCall did a nice job all the way around. He's got a great attitude about him. He's willing to get better, and that's what he's doing. Go ahead. You're on your third strike. Go ahead.
With the last 8 games, it's only, I think 28 is the lowest points you've scored against the Raiders. Just what is it about just the Raiders, what you guys do that just gives them so many problems every time you face them?
Yeah, listen, I mean, they're going through a tough time right now, and Rich is doing the best Rich can do on keeping everything together. And so, my hat goes off to him, Gus, and great. I mean, they're all busting their tail to do the right things and try to get it right. So, but it's a tough situation. I mean, it's unique and tough for this league to have that type of thing happen. So, and we'll just see where it goes from there. But I'm proud of our guys for taking care of business. You let off just a little bit. I mean, Dallas kind of went through this, right? So whatever happened there happened, but they came in and got after them. And so our guys are aware of that, and that's what I'm proud of them for doing that, because very easily you could have looked forward and not taken care of business today, and they didn't do that.
Andy, this is a game where you have 8 receivers, multiple guys in the back. I think everybody will touch the ball today. In terms of balance, how skillful you guys are, how much can that be a key ingredient moving forward as
Yeah, you need that. You need everybody to be a threat somewhere. The defense has to cover everybody. You can't give up on this guy because Pat's going to shoot him from another position. So that ends up being important. Absolutely. More pressure you can keep on these defenses, the better off you're going to be with your players.
Coach, one of the aspects of your teams is just how tight-knit your guys always seem to be. How much added emotion do you sense there might have been from the defensive guys, just considering the circumstances with the Bears?
Yeah, I mean, you saw them over there dancing away, and they like each other. That's been kind of the common denominator of that group all along here. Even when it was kind of a rough patch there, the guys like each other, and really both sides of the ball. Everybody gets along. So that can be unique in this league. Tribute to Brett for bringing in the right guys and doing that, kind of putting the puzzle together that way.
Andy, it's nowhere near being over this season, but I'm just kind of curious what your thoughts are on what this season has meant to Patrick in growing as a player, just finding different ways to win and kind of use that moving forward in his career. What have you seen as these weeks have gone by?
Yeah. It'll make him better for down the long road. Yeah, it's every time you have an opportunity to get out there, you learn something, and this year with all the zone coverage and not being able to absolutely use the power part of his game, but to use the finesse part, I think will be a benefit to him for a lot of years.
Andy, I know you got some guys out of the game in the fourth quarter. Were you tempted at all, given the fact you got a game on Thursday, to maybe get some guys out a little bit earlier than that?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's hard. I mean, is getting the guys out because they didn't want to get out. So, which is a good thing and a bad thing. So, but anyways, I got them out when I thought it was right, and we had to. You don't have the numbers that you do during training camp, so you still got to spot guys in and do all of that. So.
Anybody in particular it's hard to get out? I guess Tyrann Mathieu might be in that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Tyrann. Really, that whole defense. When things are going good, I mean, you want to keep rolling. So that's. But listen, they all got spotted, and everybody got a breather. And we'll need that this week. I mean, we got a good team we're playing.
Mike is, getting through Miller, get up on one covering touchdown. What does that do for a team in terms of being able to set the tone for the rest of the game, what kind of great energy that they're moving?
Yeah, well, the guys like him. He's a new addition to our team, and the guys, they know he's a good football player, and he's also a good returner, so he's done well on special teams. But you've seen him progress, and you kind of favor those guys that work through the tough spots and get themselves, playing well within the defense. So he's a popular guy. He's going to talk to you here in a minute.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Thank you, man.
Patrick, it seemed like you made a concerted effort to make sure you got Josh Gordon that first touchdown. What did it mean to you as a team to get that first touchdown?
Yeah, I mean, when guys put in work like he has over these last few weeks, and obviously he hasn't had the targets and catches that we've wanted him to have just because of the flow of the game and how we've played. For him to get that touchdown, we've worked on that play for a couple weeks now, and we were set up in the perfect area, and he hit it, and it worked perfectly. So for him to make a big play for us in the game, it's just going to continue to help him get that confidence that we can go out there and he can utilize him and his talents to help the offense.
How have you tried to support Legarius the last couple of days? What his family done?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a tragic situation for him, and as a brotherhood and as an organization, as a team, we're gonna go support our brothers. And so I thought guys played hard, kind of for him today. We got the win, and I'm just praying for him and his family because it's a tough deal, and we want him to be in a good spot as a person before anything on the football field.
How much did that motivate the team that the Raiders were out there dancing on the logo before the game? Several players tweeted about that. What was the conversation like before the game?
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of conversation about it. But you definitely don't want people coming into your stadium and trying to disrespect things that you've kind of built. And so for us, this gave us a little bit more motivation to go out there and win against a really good football team that we have a rivalry against that usually is a tough football game. So I think guys were ready to play today, and I think it showed on the field.
Did you hear them play Wheels on the Bus after the game?
No, I didn't. I saw the tweet about it, but no, I didn't hear that.
You're aware of victory lap.
Yeah, I was aware of the victory lap, and definitely we didn't want them winning here again. So I think we went out there and handled business.
Patrick, you talked after the game in Vegas a few weeks ago about getting your swagger back. Kelsey did with some of the other guys. Do you feel like maybe it's more real this time that what you guys did today offensively you can carry into next week?
Yeah, I think we can. We're playing a good football team this next week. That we've already played once this season, so we have familiarity with them. They have a lot of great playmakers over there, but we still have to go out there and do it. I think the defense is playing great football right now. Offensively, we have to prove that we can drive the length of the field week in and week out, and so I'm excited for that opportunity.
How does this road Thursday night kind of impact your preparation this week? What are you looking forward to the next couple of days?
Yeah, you kind of have to just flush this one immediately and move on to the next week, where you can really have to start preparing. It'll be a long day tomorrow, a lot of film study, a lot of trying to get the whole entire game plan in. I know the coaches have already kind of got a jump start on that, so being able to talk with them and get a sense. But the only thing is they kind of at least they have a similar type scheme that we've played before, and that the Broncos play. So you have at least a feel for that, and you've prepared for that in the off season. But we know it's a big game, and they have a really good team, so it'll be a great opportunity for us.
Patrick, let me ask you about a couple plays. The Hardman play, was that not your first read?
It was actually supposed to be like a stop route. He was supposed to run like a triple. It was he was gonna like fake. He's running a hitch, run deep, and then stop. And he obviously faked, and the corner fell down. And I kind of didn't know what he was going to do. And I saw that hand go up, and I was like, I got to just get it out there now. So he made a great play on it. I wish I could have got it further and got him a touchdown, but he made a big catch and kind of got that second drive, the first touchdown drive going.
And the second play, the ball where you threw across your body to Tyreek Hill, I mean, it's not a shot that's really been there offensively this year. You still practice it, you still work on it.
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, we haven't had it a ton this year. We've had a lot of spies and guys kind of trying to maneuver away from me having those scramble plays, but it's a big part of our offense. So I was glad we were able to do that today. I thought the offensive line did a great job against some really good pass rushers of allowing me time to make some of those throws that we're accustomed to doing down the field. And I'm glad that I got it to him, and I'm glad he's all good. So a little scary there for a second, but he made a big-time catch for us.
With this 5-game winning streak, Patrick, sputtered in the red zone, but today you got 3 of 3 to start the game, especially coming off those turnovers. Just how beneficial is that, and was there anything that you noticed that helped you guys be more successful in the red zone today versus?
Yeah, I think it was just execution. I mean, even the plays that didn't score, I feel like we executed and we're in the right position. We had a good feel for what we were going to get, and I thought guys ran the routes the right way. And then when it wasn't there, we made plays happen off script. And so I say it every week, but I feel like we can do what we want to do as long as we execute. We have the players, we have the playmakers, we have the coaches, and when we execute, we score a lot of points. And we don't.
Patrick, I know there's always plenty of room for improvement on offense, but how much do you feel like you're starting to see what you would think of as a complete team when you guys play like this on offense, work out some of the kinks and the way the defense has been playing?
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying it, with the defense playing the way that they're playing, if the offense can get it rolling like we've been known to do, I mean, we're gonna be a tough team to beat. And the defense is playing with confidence. They're understanding the scheme that Spags is calling, and they're playing good. And the offense, I think we're getting better and better each and every week. So I'm just excited to continue to build this momentum and try to keep it rolling into next week.
Patrick, since you've been here, the lowest amount of points you scored against the Raiders is 28, and of course that was when you scored all 28 in the second quarter out there at the time. What is it about the Raiders that just seems to bring out the best in you guys offensively?
I think it's just you understand that it's going to be a battle. I mean, you understand that there's a rivalry for a reason. You can feel that just being around people in Kansas City. Even though you didn't grow up here, you feel like you've played this team for years. And so for me, I think guys are just knowing that they have to come into the game with that mindset of we have to be great every single drive. And we really accept the challenge and go out there, and we've had success.
The winning streak, you all have flipped the turnover margin completely. Is there something that happened in practice or in the locker room where you said, hey, we just got to cut it out the turnover?
I mean, we definitely focused on it. I mean, we focused on me not trying to throw it into like the wrong spot, kind of placing it in the right spot, runners tucking it and really covering it up in traffic. But I think at the end of the day, it's just guys going out there making plays on defense and offensively just playing hard and rallying to the football.
I know it's two different teams, but is there at all a similar vibe to 2019 when you guys start to come together and all facets of the team are playing well at the same time? Is there any kind of similar feeling in the locker room right now?
I mean, there's a feeling of we're coming together and figuring each other out and learn how to play complementary football. But every team's different. I mean, every season's different. You're going to face challenges and adversity together. And we faced a lot of adversity early in the year, which people hadn't seen, and people kind of threw us down and act like we were done. But you're seeing now that we have the guys to do it, and it's if we come together as a team and take it day by day, we can go out there and do what we want to do.
Patrick, you mentioned that adversity. You're a guy that studies other quarterbacks, studies the past. I'm curious if the way you've had to do things differently this year, do you look at a guy like Brady that has won different ways just because winning is kind of the most important aspect of doing it?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you can even watch the documentary he has out right now. I mean, he just wants to win at the end of the day. And there's all types of guys that have done that. It's awesome to win and throw for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns and all that different type of stuff. And it feels amazing. But I learned in my career that those losses, when you're throwing for all those yards, feel terrible. So you rather win no matter what it takes to win. If it's throwing for 100 yards and winning, or if it's throwing for 300 yards and winning, as long as you have that W, nothing else matters.
Last two. Hey, Pat, real quick, on the sideline, they were doing fast stuff, and I saw you. Were you trying to join, and you were trying to keep the team from going on?
I would no, I was like joking around, acting like I'm trying to back those guys up. But yeah, no, I'm not the best dancer, so I try to stay away from that. I have a little bit of rhythm, but nothing that you want to put on TV. So I try to stay away from that as much as possible, and just try to be the funny guy on the side. That's-
Last one, you know. Hey, can you talk about what that first play did to the whole football team that set the tone?
Yeah, I mean, when guys step up and make plays, I mean, I think it was Hughes, or it might have been Jaron Reed that knocked it out and Hughes picked it up. I mean, those guys are playing tougher and tougher each and every week and have that confidence. And whenever you get a big play like that in the first play of the game, it builds that momentum, that confidence in the entire team, and it kind of sparked us to go out there and get a win.
All right, thank you.
Like, obviously, your role changed just in the last 48 hours, and so kind of walk us through, just preparation for this.
We always talk about the mentality next man up, and today was one of those situations, and our job is always to stay prepared, and I was prepared to play today. All of us were. Obviously with the game we just had, and I'm proud we got the W.
When did you find out that you were going to be starting?
Probably yesterday afternoon, while we were going through some plays and stuff. Coach gave me the heads up. So.
Like I've seen the pack a mean right cross. How often do you practice?
Wait, can you say that again?
A mean right
Oh.
cross. That nice little punch you have.
Right.
How often do you practice that? Are you a former boxer?
No, I'm not a former boxer, but we practice that weekly. Turnover drills during practice. Just different ways to create turnovers for the defense. We practice those situations, and multiple situations like that came up today, and I had my opportunities and made the play, so felt good.
Mike, that first play, have you ever scored a first play of the game before? Just what was that feeling like?
I did once in high school, but I was a quarterback, so that's a little different. But it's always good to get a fast start like that. I think that was huge for our success today. Jumped on them quick, and I think that fueled everybody, and it got the team going. So it felt good to get on top.
Sorry, have you had any contact with those areas? And how much was he on your mind today?
He was on everybody's mind. Before the game, we said that we were going to play for him, and we always just we got our brothers back. No matter what's going on. I think he's dealing with a tough situation right now. I won't get into it. That's his business. But we wanted to play for him today, and we went out there and did that. So that felt good to get that dub for him.
Things started to get chippy out there a little bit. How much conversation and trash talk was there after they stopped on the logo before the game? And obviously you guys put it on them in the first half. Seemed like there was a lot of conversation going on.
So, I didn't hear about the logo thing until after the game. But that's pretty disrespectful, But I'm glad we jumped on them the way we did. They came in here, and I mean, I can't really explain that. Like, I know one of our guys wouldn't do that. So, we just came out there and played ball, man. We try to not to get into the trash talk. Those refs are, they ready to throw these flags. So, we got to be careful.
Mike, can you describe what you saw on the first play of the game that led to you picking the ball up and scoring?
Jay Reid, he made a good play on the ball. Got the secured the tackle, punched the ball out, and I just happened to be in the right spot, and I took every advantage I could of the opportunity, and turned out well for me.
And what about, on the walk through we saw on both those fumbles that you were able to force the game?
Say that again, sorry.
Could you walk through what you were seeing on the fumbles that you were able to force?
Oh yeah, those guys were carrying the ball pretty loose. I saw some soft spots, and I took my shots, and like I said, they worked out today. And it's always good to create turnovers and get our offense back on the field. So that's all that matters is that we got the dub. Defense came to play, offense came to play, and we're all happy that we won today. So.
Mike, can you explain sort of your difference in comfort level being a starter on opening day versus going through most of the season, different positions, different roles, and obviously having the opportunity this time?
My mindset is always coming to, help wherever the team needs me, and that's how I try to approach the game. No matter where they try to put me, I'm willing to do it if it's going to help the team. So that's all that matters to me.
I think you scored your only other career NFL touchdown in your first career game.
Mm-hmm.
Did you think you'd be finding the end zone a little bit more?
Yeah, I mean, I do a little bit of returning, so eventually I knew I was going to get in there. Didn't know how, and there's no better way than getting a fumble recovery and running in for 10 yards. It felt good, and I'm just happy we got the victory. So that's all that matters to me.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Nah, he's on our mind a lot, man. Obviously, anytime, somebody lose somebody that close to him, obviously, I feel like most of us, could relate to that, losing people. But just wanted to play for him today, his family. And I felt like we did that. I thought we started the game with some luxurious energy. And so we kind of kept it going throughout the game. Let them enjoy the time with their family, but every now and then, send them a text or try to call them FaceTime.
Tyron, 3 straight games, you guys allowed 9 points. Since you've been here, have you had this much confidence in where the defense is as you do right now?
Yeah, we won a Super Bowl. But I think outside of that, I think anytime, you can kind of get back to who you think you are, who you know you want to be, especially with the way we started the season. So I think a lot of that credit, has to go to coaches, and players too as well. Because I think for the most part, none of the coaches panicked, and then none of the players panicked. So I thought that, gave us a chance to kind of get back to, who we thought we could be.
Tyron, when you look at this game and how you all have been playing over the last 5-6 weeks, how important is it knowing going into Thursday's game, a team that has come to Arrowhead and beat you, but now that can also put up points? How good is it that the defense is playing the way that it is, that you can take that, travel with that to Los Angeles and put up a good showing?
Yeah, I think it's important. I think anytime you can get late into the season and your defense, starts to come alive, it always goes back to that old quote, defense wins championships. And so I think as a unit, we're just trying our best to get better, each and every week, and really give our offense as many possessions, as possible. I thought we've been doing a great job just getting to the quarterback and then taking the ball away. So, which both of those things, results most of the time in Patrick getting the ball back. So that's really just been our mindset, just trying our best to be a unit that complements the rest of the team.
But also how important is it, because early in the season you all weren't able to create turnovers, give the offense extra possessions, but now that you all are creating those turnovers, they're actually doing something with it on the offense side of the ball, scoring. So
yeah, I think that's why it's a team game. I think with our offense, they got the ability to, really strike at any moment. So, like I said, the defense, we know that the offense can rely on us and vice versa. So I think at the end of the day, it just builds, team confidence. And whether you're on the road or at home, I think every unit understands that they can play off of each other.
Mike said you didn't know about the logo stomp by the Raiders until after the game. Did you know about it before the game? And when you found out, what was your reaction?
No, I didn't know about it. I found out about it post-game. I had an on-field interview. One of the guys mentioned it, but it doesn't really move me. I don't think champions, really act in that manner. So, yeah, it doesn't really matter.
How impressed are you with Mike Hughes being able to step in and make big plays right from the beginning, considering he, got to start breaking?
Yeah, mean, his time has been coming, for a long time now. Obviously early in the season, him kind of still getting adjusted to the defense. It took some time. I think right now, he's playing with that confidence, that swagger. And he's one of those guys, every time he's around the ball, he's trying to punch it out and rip it out as well. So, like I said, that, just that in itself, is energy, is creating energy. And, that's what our team, defensive, that's what we feed on.
Tyler, it seemed like you spent a lot of time playing in the slot today, where normally Legarius would be. But the game plan's got to change, in 24 hours in a situation like this. Is this something the coaches come to you, or do you volunteer? Because that's something that you normally do too.
Yeah, I mean, I got a text at like 5 that morning. It was like, hey, we're going to do this week. And I was like, all right. For the most part, obviously I got a good feel for, all 5 positions back there. And I think, I'm one of those guys that can go play really anything and kind of get us through the game and help the game. So, and then it always feels good when you kind of go back to the position as you first started at. It kind of makes you feel young again. So, yeah.
I know on the other side of the ball, but I'm curious over the last few weeks, what have you seen the offense work through to get back to what appears to be usual? So.
Yeah, I think, those guys have a championship foundation. And really, no matter what those guys go through, especially the rough patches, I think what those guys have built over the years, they can always rely on that. So, like I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, there's no panic. None of those guys are panicking. So I think that's important. We talk about team and that team chemistry as well. So it's only a matter of time for those guys start to get the rolling. I think as a defense, if we can get those guys some extra possessions, I think that those guys, it does well for those guys.
Couple more guys. Barry, how have you seen the front four come on, and how much do you sense that's really helping you guys in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of our defense is built on that. Those guys up front, really controlling the game and taking over the game. And, from there we have different coverages that kind of, allows me and, obviously the Jerry's to kind of be who we are. But I think when you look at our defense and just the philosophy of it is those big boys up front. And so it's good to see those guys, just continue to not turn it off. You know what I mean? And I think just that alone just resonates with the whole team.
Tyron, you were asked earlier about the past few weeks holding teams to 9 points. What kind of message does that send to the rest of the league that you guys, it's just not the Chiefs' offense that is getting the wins, it's the defense that's carrying the team as well?
I mean, we're a complete team. Special teams, I think defensively, we have some great players, really at all 3 levels. And, offensively, those guys have been able to break a lot of records, the last couple of years. And I think really the only thing on our mind is, complimenting our team. How can we, be a benefit to the rest of the team? So, it just comes down to really commitment and staying committed to each other. And, us being the reason that we want to go, where we want to go. So, as long as we can continue to keep team first, I think we'll continue to get better.
Last story starting with that. Hey, Tyler, real quick, talk about the secondary as a whole, because throughout this winning streak, you guys have been playing good football. Someone's with the pick six last week. We had an interception, DeAndre Baker playing. Talk about Mike Hughes, talk about the secondary as a whole.
Yeah, we got good coaching, man. Dave Merritt, even Spag, those guys do a great job with us, really communicating with us, being able to, allow guys to play to their strengths. And then I think, too, really in-game adjustments and really in-week adjustments when you're trying to prepare for a team or give them a new wrinkle, give them something different to look at. I think a lot of that credit, has to go to the coaches, but I think us as players, we just want to set the tone. We want to set the tempo. We want to be a part of the reason why, people watch the Kansas City Chiefs. And so, I think that obviously falls on leadership and just our preparation throughout the week, just trying to find something, to get better at.
I just wanted to clarify, you said you got texted 5 a.m. about playing the slot. Was that yesterday or today?
It was Saturday morning. Saturday.
Right.
Yeah.
Last one here.
A lot of talk about the Chiefs getting their swagger back, right? What does that mean to you in your opinion?
I don't know. I'm just trying to stay humble. I understand it's it's a long season. It's the NFL. Anything can happen. But I do feel that confidence growing. I do feel that our preparation is really continuing to rise. And I think that has a lot to do with the success we've been able to have, the last couple of weeks, especially defensively, I think it comes down to a lot to, of how we prepare.
All right, thank you. Thanks, man.
Josh, I haven't been getting the info for the first time in a couple years.
It's exciting. It's rewarding. True.
Josh, I'm sure you guys have worked on that play, but when it was actually called in the huddle, what was going through your mind?
Yeah, I wasn't for sure it was going to be up this week. We've been practicing for a couple of weeks. Coach Reid's been reassuring me that I was going to get my opportunity. And I had my trust in him. I knew that time was going to come. I was going to be ready. So I made sure that was the case today, and it worked out.
Have you been frustrated by your performance thus far? I know you've been wanting to get in the end zone, catch a few passes. How would you rate your performance so far?
I'm not happy with where I'm at. Currently, I think that's just me being a hard critic on myself. But I'm also aware of where I'm at and how blessed I am to be in this position. So I take every day, pride and joy, and just no matter what happens and what I'm able to do, I think it's a win for me personally. So the rest of that, I think that's just me trying to be a contender.
What is the toughest part for you, jumping in, trying to pick up Andy Reid's offense mid-season like you guys checked through here?
I've done it in the past, I think a few times. So, sometimes it feels like a whirlwind, but it's just extra time, with coaches, watching film, or at home. Any free time I get, I'm trying to do a little extra, because I have to. So just putting the time in to study the play, study the film, the nuance, and then getting better at knowing exactly what Pat wants to do, how he wants to do things, and that comes in that practice. And obviously, practice is a bunch of mistakes for me, but repetition has been key. So he's been patient with me, which I appreciate that.
Having been part of other rivalry games with other teams, how did the atmosphere at Arrowhead today compare to some of the other atmospheres you've experienced in your career?
Well, I think this one's pretty big. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know much about it prior to getting here, but as soon as I got here, it was the first thing I was told. To watch out for Raider beat. I love the energy because I love the competitive nature of all the guys, and the attitude the coaches have, the players have, and the entire staff has about this week. And then the animosity towards it personally, whatever may have happened in the past, recently, or recently today, from what I heard. Apparently, I guess the success we had today was warranted. So. Jeff, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but I think entering today, depending on certain metrics, you guys as a team led the league in drops. But there were no drops today. I just wonder if there was something that Coach Blakemeyer and they're getting me the offense sort of did to get you guys sort of refocused, or if it was just a collective group of the receivers and the tight ends making a more considered effort. If it's even different catching the ball from Patrick versus some of the average quarterbacks you played with before. Yeah, that's definitely a change in velocity. I think for me that was a big thing. Kind of being unaware to how quick the ball gets on you. And then obviously I've been out for a little while, so I realized I got to knock this rust off. And it was interesting to see I wasn't the only one dealing with that issue. So, I think a lot of times we expect it to come a little bit easier because we've been doing it for a while, but that attention to detail, that happens at practice, it happens off the field, going the extra mile. Coaches have been big helping us with that during the breaks at practice, so we've been making it a point to make sure we do our part on that.
You know, Josh, you've been with different teams. What jumps out at you about this group that you've joined, both as football players and as an organization?
The energy, the liveliness towards wanting to be successful in football. You know, I think in life as well, but they're very tight-knit group, very familiarized, I think, with each other and knowing what to expect from each other. So I think that builds a certain type of rapport, trust with each other, that they can count on each other without having to second guess. So I've noticed that. I noticed Coach Reid has allowed the players to interact in a way that's very genuine. And he always talks about us showing our character. Being other places, that's not always the case. So I definitely appreciate him for that because I think it allows the players to be their best selves.
Hey, Josh, you mentioned that you and Patrick are still working to get on the same page. I was wondering if you could elaborate on maybe what extra steps the both of you are doing to kind of get there.
It's probably more me, you know, I'll be honest, more me. You know, I think I just need to sometimes, well, I've been too slow, I need to speed up and vice versa, you know, and sometimes I just slow down. I'm trying to, you know, I got a long stride, I might overstride something recently, maybe slow down and stop right there in that hole. And I'm like, okay, I don't need to be so rigid, I think, with how it is on paper. I'm seeing how it's drawn up and I'm going to do it exactly how I see it. And it's not as robotic as it may seem. So, you know, I kind of got to just play ball as opposed to being so analytical about it.
Josh, this may be the same answer, but in case it's different, when you mentioned knock the rust off, what are you referring to? Like, what are sort of the hardest things to get away from football for so long?
I think the fluidity in which I'm probably used to move. I think I've noticed like maybe second guessing my movement. You know, it seemed like, you know, do I still feel as fluid, and can I do it consistently? You know, so probably just self-doubt, you know, a little bit more than anything. And once that goes away, fades away, I think today was a big help towards me moving in the right direction with that. So a lot less second guessing and more just
Last one.
Hey, Josh, you'd mentioned the need to be patient, but even Coach Reid had told us that since you've been here, there's some things that you do that don't appear on in the box score. How much pride do you take as being a blocker down the field, and what goes into being an effective blocker as a wide receiver?
Well, I think it's just the mindset, and I think coming in, I was anticipating maybe not to get the ball as much, so I was like, all right, how can I, you know, implement my own footprint on this team if I'm out there? And I think that was blocking, and knowing my physicality and the size I've been dealing with, and I'm like, you know, okay, let's go 110% and everything else, you know, before things get going. So I take pride in that, and I think that other receivers do as well.
Just as a quick follow-up to that, you mentioned your size. Have you ever noticed any cornerbacks' eyes widening up when they see you bearing down on them?
They talk about it after we, you know, they notice it like, man, you really are kind of big dude. I was like, well, yeah, that's different than my film.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Josh.